Welcome to the Colored Only Café. With Darshan Farad giving us our world news, Bro Pete, the Empress Lydia Percy, Sonny B. Sutherland Sr., and you, the black community. Welcome to the Colored Only Café, where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong.
You're muted now. Yeah, you know what happened was there were a lot of events going on that I was involved in today. Me and my daughter, she had this incredible event at the UN, ushering in peace globally, and it was a youth movement. I'm not long just getting in from all of that, you know, the Manhattan traffic and so, you know, please forgive me, folks. But I want to just, like I said, I wanted to welcome, you know, we always set the room right. We want to welcome all the folks who are here on the room. And I want to say hello and shout out to everybody who is on the Facebook, who are checking us out. And make sure besides you know, liking it, the hundreds of people, we get hundreds of likes, you know, on it. And I would say, well, how come the people, you need to share it? You know, I love the likes. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It does mean a lot. But also sharing, because sharing is caring. And, you know, knowledge and information that we have here on this program, I'm telling you, is the gift that keeps on giving. And speaking of gifts that keeps on giving, you guys are going to be in for a wonderful treat, an incredible surprise. One of our guests who comes here almost annually. You know, and she is so wonderful, so beautiful. When I say beautiful, thoroughly beautiful. Sister Ayo Handy is here, and she's going to be talking about black love, right? We're not in danger of having too much black love. Can you guys hear me? Am I good? You guys can hear me, right?
Oh, you're perfect.
Good. So, you know, we have her here, and I'm telling you, a brother like no other. We have author, scholar, activist, educator. He has a new book out that he's going to talk about. His name is Khabyr Hadas. He is in the house. So, but before we get started, once again, let me welcome everybody. I want to say hello to Amanda. How are you doing out there? I want to say hello to Jacqueline. I know she's here. Amanda's here. Jacqueline's here. Venus Sutherland is in the house. Hi, Venus. Good to see you. Also, we have Marion Wilson here. Hi, Marion. Courtney is in the house. Welcome. Super black man. Up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's super black man. He's in the house. We got JT the Wolf is here. We got Jamel Sutherland, who is also here, and that's the son of Sonny Sutherland, who also has a show on our network on Mondays and on Fridays. He has a music program, Sonny B's Mixtapes. You don't want to miss that. Really great music. Really, you could really reminisce off of. But anyway, we got to get into it right away because we have two incredible guests. I know we're not going to have enough time to really, get all the information and all the wonderful things that these incredible people are doing. But I want to first introduce to the stage that we have my dear friend. I see her every year. She is just a light in this world. I know you're going to find her equally as amazing as I find her. Sister Ayo Candy is here. She's going to tell us about black love. Everybody talking about Valentine's Day. We got Black Love Day in the house. How you doing, Sister Ayo? You can unmute yourself. So good to see you. She has a wonderful present. She's going to tell us what she's got going on and how we can support. And she's going to hang out with us a little bit. I want to say hello to Zoe Poindexter. Hi, Zoe. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. It's Zoe, actually.
Zoe? Okay. Hi. I'm sorry. You know, hi, Zoe. How are you? What a wonderful smile. She has a fantastic smile. Every day, you know, I tell people every day above ground is a good day. I'm telling you, it's amazing to be here. Okay, so Brother Pete is he's just joining us. You know, Brother Pete, he brings the heat. So, so we have him joining us. Sister Ayo, real quickly, can you tell us first? Tell people first about who you are and how long you've been doing this incredible work in terms of establishing institutions. Like, we have a lot of talk and a lot of conversations about black folks. What are we doing? What we need to be doing? And I think that it's brilliant that we have people who actually understand the importance of institutionalizing things when you talk about empowerment. And you do work with a lot of holidays, and we have a wonderful holiday coming up. Can you tell people a little bit about it?
Well, we are so grateful. We're so grateful and thankful to be here. We give thanks and praise to the Almighty, Brother Tylon. It's good to see you in person and not as icon. You're quite handsome. I'd like to see more
Oh, thank
of
you.
you, brother.
Oh, you know, now I just keep it coming, keep it coming.
Yeah,
I love
sure,
the compliments.
certainly. Yes, good to see you. And I am very blessed to be here. I'm Ayo Handy Kendi. I invited Zoe Poindexter to come along with me on this show. We're grateful for the African American Holiday Association, which I founded in 1989. We're still going strong. It is an institution, and the African American Holiday Association stewards a holiday. We like to call it a holy day, also, because it's a spiritual, non commercial alternative to the Valentine's madness that is coming up on the 14th. Instead, we encourage people to celebrate and recognize, celebrate themselves, recognize their community through a different holiday, a different holy day. It's called Black Love Day. And I am so grateful that on February the 13th, every year, we encourage people for 24 hours to celebrate themselves, showing five very specific acts of love, showing love for their creator who had brought us into the world, show love for themselves, to show love for the black community, the black family, and the entire diaspora, which means all people who are melanated, people who consider themselves people of color. We included non-white people as part of that paradox, knowing that they have to know that they also came from melanated people, that they didn't come here in without a root, and their root is also Africa. We encourage them to show love in action. The five tenets that we encourage our people to show, people of color in particular, is that these five tenets not only empower us, they give us a value system. Just like the principles of Maya, the 42 principles of Maya, the seven principles of the Nagusa Saba that we are aware of during Kwanzaa, the principles that we can live by every single day beyond this day of February the 13th. Now, February the 13th, however, gives us another recognition day. This recognition day is now the fifth largest recognition day in the African American community. Juneteenth being another one, of course, Kwanzaa, Black History Month. And of course, our wonderful, wonderful celebration that many of us kind of take for granted, that Black History Month this year in particular, the African American Holiday Association has to really lift it up because it is being affronted by all the DEI affronts, where people are actually trying to take black out of Black History Month. Um, Historical black colleges are really being confronted, and they're having to do programming and actually being told that they cannot use the word black in their promotions. So there's always this element of struggle and resistance around our people. So this year's theme for the 33rd anniversary of Black Love Day is that we must empower our community. We must have these principles to live by. We're
Yeah.
encouraging people use these principles as love in action, as resistance and resilience. We're declaring a crisis in unprincipled behavior where love will actually overcome hate. Your daughter is right in alignment with that movement where many people are saying we must have peace. The racist Obama videos that were circulated is one of the affronts that we are faced with in this Black History Month. A president who really didn't acknowledge Black history and really shows so much unprincipled behavior that is continuing to divide us as a community. And so our love, our power of love, has to be used as a tool to keep us unified, keep us rising above this chaos and confusion that we see in every area of our life today, and that we indeed can act in principled ways beyond February the 13th. But February the 13th gives us a day to recognize ourselves, stand together as a community. I like to say, be unapologetically Black, allow ourselves to spend our money where it counts in our Black community, spend your dollars with someone that looks like you, and come to a powerful event that the African American Holiday Association is offering, our fifth virtual relationship summit, so that as we are standing in solidarity, that we have a greater ground breaking understanding of how relationships are impacted by love, and how we enhance our relationships so we will be better as a community to stand with resistance. So for all the information that I just expressed, we have it on a press release. And that will be offered for you to be able to download and hopefully send to your communities. And it is at www.africanamericanholidays.org. This year, we are documenting the work that we are doing with Black Love Day and its principles, with Sister Zoe Poindexter, who is doing a documentary film. I wanted her to come on so she could meet you, Brother Tylon,
Oh,
who is a
okay.
filmmaker.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Award winning.
yes.
Won again at Cannes. I told
Speaking
you that.
it into the future, yes, speaking it
Yeah.
into existence.
Yes.
Yes.
Zoe, tell me just a little bit about the documentary, but can you tell us also about the 5 principles? Can we go into that just a little bit?
Yes, yes. So the documentary is currently in pre-production right now.
Mm-hmm.
I met Mama Ayo last year on February 13th at the celebration. I knew then that this was something I wanted to make a documentary about, and it has been so lovely getting to know her and getting to know the community and seeing the support that is out there for this film and this idea. Um, a little bit about me. I'm a producer who has lived in DC for almost 10 years now, working in journalism, working in branded communications, but now I'm making a pivot to make my first documentary feature film about Black Love Day. And the focus is going to be on the 5 tenets. I think right now the world needs this value system that the 5 tenets provides. It is a blueprint for how we can use love as a revolutionary act to change the world. And so those tenets, as Mama Ayo has put together, are love for the creator is the first tenet. The second tenet is love for self. The third tenet is love for family. And the fourth tenet is love for community. And the fifth tenet is love for the Black diaspora. And my hope is that we can bring together different individuals and organizations that have ties to Mama Ayo and the work that she does, but who also have their own personal missions and directives to do the work that leads with love to help the community.
Beautiful, wonderful. Oh, I'm super excited. I think I'm gonna have to come out there and make some connections. Sister Ayo,
Yes.
again, once again, I want to commend you. But can you tell us a little bit about the event itself? What could one expect when they come out to that event?
We like to always say every year that Black Love Day is not just where you go, but it is what you do for those 24 hours. The importance of love and action is how you decide to spend a quality 24 hours showing love. However, there are rituals with every single holiday. There's opportunities for bonding and connecting. And so we saw the need to create something either in person or online. And so in the last several years, we've been having a connection online. And this is our 5th year of that connection, that event, where you can actually uh, demonstrate your 5 tenets in that event. You can not only demonstrate your 5 tenets, you can have a ritual of healing and cleansing. If you have love, hurts, and pains, we have an actual ritual ceremony that allows you online or in person, and this year online, where you are able to forgive, atone, and move forward in any hurt, pain that you may have in your relationships. We also have special presentations. This year, one of the presenters will be Sister Zoe, who will be talking about the film and how people can help and support it. We're going to be talking to Brother Dr. Bruce Purnell, who is a profound movement activist with his Love More movement. And I'm so looking forward to his workshop on how love empowers us. Elijah Cooper, who's going to be telling people how really they can use these tenets, how you celebrate that Love Day. Because people still in 33 years, we're still, institutionalizing this holiday and holy day. So she has a whole workshop. And then there will be other guests. There will be a testimony that we're giving to Brother Carl Nelson, the broadcaster, and Brother Dick Gregory. This will be our first recognition. We're calling it the Black Love Community Service Award, where we're now going to start giving an award each year. And this year, that first year's award is going to Brother Carl Nelson, who's been walking the pavement for a long time, using his love for the community to educate us. And Dick Gregory, we know about his stand with health. We want to honor him. And there's going to be fun. We're going to be breathing and moving and releasing, because this has been an extremely stressful year for many of us. And we always stand with the understanding that we want youth to come on this program, because we believe that the voices of youth are critical to keep institutions like Black Love Day internalized, keep them vibrant. I'm 74. I'm not going to be around forever. And so my role and goal is to ensure that younger people have the awareness that these institutions of holidays, the significance of them, they give us traditions. They give us traditions that live long beyond just that day. They give us something that adds cohesiveness to every community. And they give us the opportunity to commune. Community is exactly what its name stands for. In the contents of African-centered love, love is about the unity of our people together. So every single Black holiday is really about us coming together to empower us with love. So we invite as many people who can come on board, hang out with us the whole day. It's from 1 to 10 p.m. at night. And you got to pre-register to come online with us, okay? Because it
How do
is
we
on
do that?
sale.
How do we pre-register? Let
You
some of
go
us do that
to,
now.
yes, you go to our website, which is African American Holidays.org. There is a registration on
Please
the
put that in the chat.
homepage, and you must pre-register so we can have accurate account. And after 100 people, we got to increase the space for the Zoom. So it's very important that you pre-register and keep pre-registering throughout the day, because this is a real exciting event. All during the day is something amazing happening. So don't just think that there's a program grid online that tells you what's happening at what time. But don't just think that that's only what you're going to experience. There's going to be special guests that's going to be coming on throughout. And we invite you, if you have a program, you have a service, you have a concept that helps us come together in love. We would love to hear from you. So we're going to do as much as we can to bring on cameo. We got some great poetry. Oh, we have the Black Love poem that is about 5-6 pages long that will be expressed that you'll just enjoy, and there'll be singing and movement, and it's a whole day of excitement for all of us to celebrate our holiday, our holy day, and
Yes.
our value system.
Yes. Oh, I am just super excited about that. That sounds incredible. And don't forget the
Thank
breathing. That's so
Yes,
important. I really about the breathing. Last year, I know it was incredibly exciting. People were talking about it. It's growing. It's growing exponentially. Folks
yes,
support. A lot of folks who are in this room are leaders. You have organizations. You have groups. You have church groups. You have a lot of people right now are educators. They're working in schools or whatever. Please make this a part of your agenda. Talk to your people, your young people about it, and not just the young people. Talk to your staff about it. We all need love. This is not just about age. This is about This is about all of us. As a
yes,
community coming together and
yes,
taking part. In all of this. I want to welcome Steve. I want to welcome Sean. I want to welcome Brother Deshaun here in the room. More and more folks are coming in. I see a couple other folks here who are loading in. Come on in. Get some of this good information that we have. We got to
yes,
take a
yes,
quick
yes.
break. When we take this quick break, oh man, we are going to come back with Khabyr Hadas, and we're going to still have more from Sister Ayo, because I'm sure we're going to have Q&A towards the end, and everybody's going to have some questions about this black love, because I'm telling you, we're not in danger of having too much black love. Am I right? We need this, because there's a concentrated effort to make sure that we don't have that. There's nothing more revolutionary than for us to love each other when they're telling us not to, and we always are finding places and spaces for us to connect, and this is one of those places at the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy, where we try to have people come in and connect meaningfully. We're going to take a quick break, a quick pause for the cause, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Colored Only Café, where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome, Black. We are here at the Colored Only Café. We have not just one, we have two amazing guests, two phenomenal giants that walk amongst us. We're programmed to give people their flowers when it's, I think, too late. That's why we call it flowers, right? People are doing some amazing stuff right now and today, and we got to stop waiting until white America tells us it's okay for us to clap and applause for this person or that person. Our people who are doing some incredible things and amazing things, we need to salute them, and you're going to find them always here at the Colored Only Cafe. Folks, don't forget, she talked about supporting black businesses with intention. We need your support. So I want to ask each and every one of you to right now go to your Cash App. That's right. You all have it. It's that little green thing. Go swipe on your phone. I'll take a little second for you to do that. Okay. Now hit your finger on that phone, that little Cash App. And whether you want to send us $1 or $100, anything in between, we will definitely appreciate it. It helps us to keep on doing what we're doing, and we want to get rid of some of those commercials because we like to keep the conversation going. Sometimes it gets cooking, right, Dr. Ron? It gets going, and then we got to take a commercial break, and breaks the momentum. We have fewer commercials if you guys continue to support us. Now, brothers and sisters, don't go anywhere, because don't forget we have the Q&A on the last half hour. So I know you have a lot of questions for Sister Ayo and Zoe, but I'm about to bring on a bad man. When I say bad, I'm talking about that kind of what do you call that? The Michael Jackson bad. He's an author, he's a historian, he's a scholar, and he has some amazing books. Award-winning, a writer, and just an all-around terrific person. He's a friend of Dr. Ron. Ron said, "Hey, we got to have this brother on." And I'm saying, what? When I saw his credentials, all the things that he was doing, I was like, where was he before? You should have had him on before. So without further ado, Sister Ayo and everybody else, I want to introduce you to this amazing brother here, if you don't know him already, because he's published several books. One is Oneness of the Blacks. African Struggle Inherited, and I believe his latest creation is Garvey Footsteps and Fingerprints, carrying the cause of Pan-African unity. Let's welcome Brother Khabyr Hadas. Welcome, brother. How are you today?
Okay, thank you very much for that warm welcome.
Thank you so much for being here, brother.
Yes, first and foremost, I want to thank the Creator and the ancestors for giving us this day. And secondly, Mama Ayo, it is such a pleasure to listen to you. You are a legend. Your work will carry us through the next millennium, and I am so grateful that you have created this day, and you are loved and respected all around the world. Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And I'm
Yes.
so grateful to meet you. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for the work you're
Wassalam.
doing. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
And Sister Zoe, she got your back. Sister
Yes.
Zoe got your back. You know, the 5 principles that she spoke of are very dear to me. And you know, Black love is very important in our families and in our communities, because I believe that the number one disease in the African community, in the African village, is self-hate, is the disease of self-hate. I really believe that is the nucleus of why we hurt each other. I really believe that if a child or a woman or a man, when they look in the mirror in the morning and they don't like what they see, that's going to be a problem. And I think that what's happening is they are latching out at what reminds them of themselves. This is just carrying on the teachings of Dr. Amos Wilson and Francis Quest Welsing, some of our brilliant scholars over the years that had given us the reason why people behave the way they do. So when you talk about Black love, I hold it dearly in my heart, and know that one day we will live under a warmer sun, and one day the Black man and the Black woman will fall in love with themselves again. And it's through programs like this. It's through programs like the Colored Only Café that the seeds are being planted for Black men and women and the youth to come into their own and to restore their greatness.
Well, you know, before we talk about, because you also have, events coming up, let's talk about these books. I want to talk about Garvey, if you don't mind, Footsteps and Fingerprints, and carrying the cause of Pan-Africanism, because, you know, there's people who are saying, you know, Pan-Africanism is a dead brand, it's not relevant. Can you speak to, just for, the book and why Pan-Africanism is important to the world?
Yes. Sister Zoe said her the fifth paradigm, or the fifth level of the points were the Black world, the diaspora. And that's what Pan-Africanism is. It's a oneness of Black people coming together. Pan-Africanism speaks to the oneness of all Black people worldwide, even though we are separated by space and thought, that all Black people have a common past, a common present, and a common future. That's Pan-Africanism. All Black people. And that's one thing that really resonated with me when I came amongst the teachings of the excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey. He was for the oneness of all Black people. That's why he gave us that flag. That flag is flown all around the world, particularly in Black communities. And many of us do not know that Mr. Garvey and the UNIA gave us that flag as far as solidarity is concerned. The red, of course, being for our royal blood that all of us must know we have, and the blood that has been shed, and the blood that will be shed. And of course, the black is for the skin, our beautiful melanin, and the green is for the land, not only in Mother Africa, but the whole globe. So when he gave us that in 1920 at the convention, that really set the tone for Pan-African nationalism, or Pan-Africanism, for all Black people to encompass and hold on and reach out to one flag.
There's a lot of concerted effort to kind of divide, I think, and to kind of guide. I think that a very, very important principle of us coming together, because it's sense. This is not rocket science, folks. We're always better together. Am I right? So when you hear things about people trying to divide and all that. And by the way, too, I want to be really clear that I'm not taking any jabs at the delineation movement or anything like that. I think lineage is important, by the way, but that is not what it called. It's not juxtaposed to Pan-Africanism. It's just like another group, right? So how they're always sometimes, what do you call it, pitting them two ideas, those two different ideologies against each other. They're just different. They're not necessarily against each other. Am I right, brother?
Yes, I just, with Pan-Africanism, everyone can come into if you're black, you could be a Pan-Africanist. It oversees all religious barriers, all belief systems. That's one thing that Mr. Garvey was excellent in doing, is mobilizing African people. Since he was a child, when he traveled different places and saw that the black man and the black woman were on the bottom, he worked very, very hard to create a organization, Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League, to combat that which we had to struggle against. And that's what happened. And it's still alive today. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why Mr. Garvey has not been put into the history books and the curriculums, not only here in America, throughout the world. There's a reason why the government did not allow him to step foot back into America, on American soil, after he was deported, because his program, the program of the Africans that were supported the UNIA, was a exact, efficient, effective program that helped millions of people, not only here in Americas, but throughout the globe. So they have done their best to squash this. And it's through forums like this, through men like myself and Mama Ayo and Sister Zoe, that we can bring the memory of Marcus Garvey and men and women that have held the cause of African liberation to the youth and to the future, the ones yet unborn.
Very powerful. Okay, let's delve into the book a little bit, and really the book. They're just amazing works, man. I think. And by the way, where can people get the books? I want to start with that, because can we get it on Amazon? Can we get it directly so we can bypass Amazon? Can we get it from?
Yes. I don't deal with Amazon. Yeah. I'll get my credentials. You can get my credentials out. My number. It is also sold at Hakeem's Bookstore in West Philadelphia, one of, if not the oldest black bookstore in the nation. Okay. And there's another place across the street, right there at 52nd and Walnut, called ACAF. They sell my books as well.
Yeah, put that in the chat too, folks, because I definitely believe what Sister Ayo was saying. We have to intentionally, aggressively, and I think all year round, not just wait for Black Love Day. We have to, like I said, as a ritual, always just support each other and find ways to do that and connect. So please put all of that information into the chat so that we can have it also posted on Facebook and Rumble and all the other places where people will find this content. All right, so let's get into the book. Let's delve into the book a little bit more, because there's been other books about Marcus Garvey. What do you find distinctive about your path in writing about this book?
That's an excellent question, sir. First of all, also, I have to commend you and what you're doing, and Brother Ron. I didn't get a chance to say that. I came on the program last week and heard Imam Qasim Nathari, and your program is strong, it's sturdy, it's truthful, and it's adult, and I like it very much. I'm not prone to getting on platforms, but when my fraternity brother Ron asked me to come along, I was honored after I saw what you have been laying out. So you're doing a great job. I have to say that.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Then we have to say that. And I know my brother Ron from Omega Psi Phi fraternity. It's, for those who don't know, it's an African-centered fraternity, founded in 1911, and it basically is a manhood training program. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with fraternities and sororities, it's just a rites of passage. Once you read Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James, you will know that the information that was bestowed upon us was stolen from us prior to us getting the information when initiating in that illustrious organization. So I have to definitely make that a point, to let people know it's African. It's all African. Um, footsteps and fingerprints, brother. Well, as we all know, footsteps can be seen. Footsteps can be followed. Footsteps, we see where Marcus Garvey went to, where he stopped at. Our feet might not fit in his footsteps, but we can always see the path that he took through all the efforts with only a 9-year time period here in the Americas. When Mr. Garvey got here in the Americas, he was 28 years old, 28. And he stayed until 1925. In the 9-year period, he built a strong civilization, a strong nation, a strong movement that still resonates today. And I'm glad that you brought me on, because this information is all public information now. And as far as the devil having his horns and his tail swinging here in the Americas, I think that Black people are going to resonate or move towards organizations such as the UNIA, if not create one for themselves. I'm starting to see more organizations being formed in America to combat racism and things of that nature. So you're dealing with footsteps, and then you're dealing with fingerprints. The fingerprints is pretty much the following of his ideology, Marcus Garvey's ideology. There are many men like Kwame Nkrumah, Malcolm X. Malcolm X's mother and father, Louise and Earl, awesome Garveyites. They would fall under the fingerprint or the ideology of Mr. Garvey. And Mr. Garvey's ideology wasn't one of anew. There were brothers and sisters that came before him that he studied, that we must learn about. Alexander Crummell was one. There were Black nationalists, Delaney, that preceded Mr. Garvey, that he embraced and put into motion a strong program. And that's pretty much, in a nutshell, what the book is about. It definitely deals with local Garveyites, sir. Local Garveyites, Mr. Battles, President General Battles, a giant in the field, a giant in the UNIA. To sit at his feet, it was like he was like a walking encyclopedia. People need to know about Mr. Battles. People need to know about that building. There's a building, the international headquarters, my brother. The international headquarters of the UNIACL is right here in Philadelphia, 1609 11 Cecil B. Moore Avenue. It's a strong, beautiful, beautiful African embassy that we need help with, that people need to come and see the majesty. I mean, we have that building since 1950. And a lot of people aren't aware of that very building Malcolm X taught in. That very building, so many brothers and sisters in the movement went through the halls and through that doorway. You had brothers and sisters from the Nation of Islam, the Temple of the Black Messiah, the Republic of New Africa, the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, the Nations of Gods and Earths, the Moorish Science Temple, Black Unity Council, the Nuwaubian Nation, sisters and brothers like John Henry Clark, Yusuf Ben Yakinen, Sister McIntyre, Henry DiBernardo, the list goes on, Empress Fele Chianesu, who have went in that building and learned and have taught their ideology. So that building is so historical. So I give a great emphasis on that building in the book as well, sir.
That's because I wasn't even aware of it. So I got it. And I have a lot of books. I didn't know about that. See, so those are the kind of things that I guess you guys are going to pick up when you pick up this book, because the reason why we don't know these things, and me not even knowing about that building and the place, is because this is deliberate. It's not happenstance. They don't teach this in the school. And guess what? It's not for them to do it. It's our job to educate our people. And that's why it's so important when people put, pen to paper and they write and they do all the scholarship and research, we owe it to ourselves to inform each other and to educate each other, because education and information is that gift that keeps on giving. Once people think that differently, right? If he who prescribes the diameter of your thinking controls the circumference of your action, and if we start to read these books and understand a lot better, I think you'll start to see a massive improvement in our community. And this is why that we are under attack, because they don't want this kind of information,
Right.
that so that you feel different, you walk different, you'll see the world different, and you'll connect to that power that you have within you. Am I right, Sister Io? And Sister Io said that she's been a Garveyite for how many years?
I've been a Garvey, I'd say for 10 years, but it may be even more than that, because
Wow.
Awesome.
I learned about the Garveyite movement.
Yes.
Almost, I can't even hardly remember. It was in my early work as an activist in the 70s. And
Wow.
but I became an official member of the UNIA here in DC. At our program this Friday, we're going to have another Garveyite, Brother Charlie Duggar. And Charlie Duggar has been doing a UNIA cultural event in Baltimore for, I understand, over 50 years.
Wow.
And he's been a part of the Pan-African parade up in New York that has been around, for my understanding, close to maybe 50 years. And so don't quote me. But Garveyites have been organizing their people again around the love that we must have to come together to reflect each other's determination to be self-determining people. So yeah, I'm very proud of my very small relationship with helping our UNIA members have their Know Thyself book fair here in DC, and to continue to stand with people like Charlie Duggar, and now to stand with you, Brother Khabyr.
Yes, ma'am.
I
Yes,
made
ma'am.
certain that I put the message, that's Brother Hakeem in Philadelphia at Black and Nobel. That's where you can get Brother Khabir's book. Another profound brother, Hakeem, has been around for a long time, helping our people to have knowledge with his Black-owned bookstore.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so
I
true.
see that, brother Deshaun. You have a couple things. You have your hand up. Want to recognize you, brother Deshaun?
No, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, brother.
Clearly. Can you hear me clearly, Dr. Ron? I'm making sure.
No, we can't hear you clearly. You sound like you're underwater.
Okay, 1 second. Pick your right Blackwood. Hold on, family. Let me hit you right back.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, no. Go ahead, Ron.
No, I just wanted to say, as we, just as I'm sitting here listening, and we're talking about, when we really, again, we have a one. Listen, I don't know where you're gonna go. You're gonna get two guests like this. Not only two guests to with the phenomenal work they're doing, but also to engage in the dialect and the conversation, and not be like a webinar where you can't even get to speak to them. And I think this is one of the things that we have took on so many parts of European ways of information.
Right.
Where somebody can talk to you, but you can't ask them no questions. You can't communicate.
Or at the end, you got 2 seconds left.
Right.
And you can't really communicate. But that's not our culture. Our culture is to come together in our big circle, have a conversation. The person who is the elder who is talking about whatever they're talking about, they're able to hear the smallest person there, the infant who said, "Why is this happening, Baba?" And they can and have that dialogue for not just for them, but for us as the community in the circle to be able to hear. And as I was listening in that context, I wanted to just bring about this psychological aspect that I thought about when we're thinking about, the idea of that Marcus Garvey had with this Pan-Africanism. It probably is one of the most important things that could ever be presented to a people who had been done the way they had been done, and right, and not in this country but in the world. The problem with it was that became the problem is that they used the psychological, as I would like to call it, psychological matrix tricks to say, oh, you should be one people. that's going to make you stronger.
Mind tricks.
And that idea of being one people means to be the one people we want you to be, how we want you to be. And as you be that one group of people the way we want you to be, then you all have to do the same thing the same way. Whereas that would be impossible as a people that we are, because yes, we are all one Black people, but we are from so many different places with so many different ideas. And that's what happens a lot of times in here in this Western world, is that we feel like we have to all be on the same identical accord to work together. And listen, let's just use the one thing that we do have in common. And a lot of times the thing we have in common is our enemy, who the reason why they're our enemy is because of what we have in common. They're not our enemy because, oh, we young, or we old, or we women, or we men, or that we rich, or we poor. That's not why they have an issue with us. They have an issue with us because of our Blackness. So why can't we say, we're working over here as the Muslims, working at the 5%ers, working over as the nationalists, we working all of these things. And the one thing that keeps us, we working as men, we working as women, we working as young, we working as old. The one thing that keeps us together is what Mama talking about, is the love for us as Black people. So
Yes,
I think
sir.
that is a big part and the problem with that is it was the same thing with the Marcus Garvey Center. If you've never been exposed, you never ask a question about. Right? So it's not just like our simple kids that we work at, me and Khabyr, we work, me and Baba work at the school with the kids every day. And we do every day, we expose these kids to something brand new. Right? And now the interest in their mind enlightens them to say, I'm interested. Let me go and find, because they have the technology to find it out faster than we can tell it all out.
Right.
But someone has to present it.
Yes, sir.
You have to take them by the building. You take them by the building, they'll be like, oh, what's in this building? Next
Yes,
thing
sir.
you know, they done researched and found out. And now this is, and if you want proof, I'm a researcher. You want prevalent evidence that this happened? Look at what happened in 2020 with George Floyd. There's 1,000 brothers and sisters that was killed before George Floyd. It wasn't until people got to see it and had time to investigate it that you then got the explosion of the things that we got in our society. So
I agree.
It's just
totally
something
agree.
we have to really look at.
And to prove to your point, Dr. Ron, seeing an edifice is one thing, but what Mr. Garvey was able to do was plant an image in our minds. Many of our adult Black men and women cannot put an image of a beautiful, loving African civilization in their mind. They don't have an image. It's blank. Most of us start our history at slavery, and then it goes further from slavery. And that's not to take anything or to minimize the brothers and sisters that lived during that time period. We were brilliant and resistant, but there's no imagery in the minds of Black people when you talk about Timbuktu and Mali or Shanghai and things of that nature. So Mr. Garvey was good at painting a picture of an image that we can imitate or work towards. That's why he was so impressive with Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington, he had the image. He created and started building these buildings, and it caught the attention of Mr. Garvey. And Mr. Garvey and Mr. Booker T. Washington, they had correspondence. And that is the reason why Mr. Garvey came to America in the first place, was to meet with Booker T. Washington to learn of some of the things that he was doing and building Tuskegee. And Mr. Garvey wanted to take that back to Jamaica. But sadly, Booker T. Washington made his transition. But Mr. Garvey came to the Americas and did a 38 tour anyway. But to get to your point, you're right. The images, you can't be it if you don't see it. It's very, very important to see what you want to be. The mind works like this. The hippocampus, what it does is create an image. So if you close your eyes and say car, if you close your eyes and say bicycle, an image comes up. But again, we have to work on images prior to colonization. That is very important. The work of Sheikh Anta Diop, the work of J.A. Rogers, they give us a image of what we were. There were no jails. There was a time where there were no prisons because there was no crime. There was no disproportionate level of wealth. There were no lawyers because no one really got sick. I mean, no one really created a crime to hire a lawyer.
Yes.
There was a time when there was peace amongst Black people, and there's proof and books that we can read now, my brothers and sisters, to prove that, to know that we were smelting iron. We were embalming our dead. We were navigating the seven seas. We were smelting iron when the European didn't even know what a shoe was. When the European lived in the caves and had to live with their defecation and urination and eating their young and their dead. People need to know the levels of human activity when it comes to Black people. And Mr. Garvey was good at painting that picture of African superiority or African self-sufficiency, not only in the family, but in the nation.
Powerful. We got to take a quick break though, Ron. Once we come
back and Deshaun, we'll be ready for you. And I think the other brother with his hand up. We'll get y'all guys right after the break.
Yeah, and if more folks are loading in, folks, please make sure you get your questions lined up and ready. And if you want, you can also put the questions in chat. And please just try to be as concise because we're a lot of people in the room, and we want to make sure everybody is heard. Okay, we'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Out of centuries of adversity, from stolen labor, stolen wealth, stolen time, a legacy rises. Afro-Crypto repurposes the copper manila, a West African currency, to forge a new movement. Limited edition merch, cultural currency you can wear, history reimagined, owned, not borrowed. Exclusive NFTs with real perks, access, community, power. This isn't hype. It's heritage on the blockchain. Afro-Crypto isn't just digital art. It's reclamation. It's ownership. It's the future rooted in the past. From currency to culture to code. Join the movement.
Union carpenters and contractors create good jobs with good wages, so workers who build our city can afford rent or even buy a home and have access to family health care, so you can see the doctor when you need to, and a medical emergency doesn't wipe out a family savings. That's why union carpenters and contractors support good jobs for everyone, because good jobs are essential to an affordable New York. Learn more at buildingnewyorksbest.com.
It really is my favorite podcast. If you want to know where we're truly at as a people, you'd better call Tylon and Dr. Ron.
The hosts, Dr. Ron and Tylon, are regular guys who you can tell are smart and love our people.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Colored Only Café, where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong. Every Wednesday, 9 until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, exclusively on the GoPro Radio Network. www.goproradio.com.
Where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong.
All right, welcome Black. Welcome back to the Colored Only Cafe, and the conversation is definitely hot. I told you, didn't I tell you folks that it was going to be hot? Please, it's not too late. We have another hour of programming, so you can invite your friends to the conversation. You can invite them into the room. They are welcome. They are invited. We made this space for us, and it's safe. And I want to say hello to the close to 100 people right now that are checking us out on Facebook. I want to say hello to my cousin Diane. I want to say hello to MD. I want to say hello to Adria. I want to say hello to my good friend out in Germany. I haven't spoken to her in a while. Her name is Sheila. Welcome, Sheila. Thank you so much for checking us out. And you can come into the room. By the way, all the folks who are there on Facebook, if you want to come into the room and you want to talk to Khabyr, you want to talk to Sister Io, you can do that. See, it's like what Ron said. This is our community forum. This is our space. This is our weekly town hall meeting, if you will. You can come on in by going to GoProRadio.com. www.goproradio.com. PRORADIO.com. And as soon as you get there, very good, efficient website, great page. Right at the top is a Join Live button. We made it that easy. You click on that Join Live button, and it'll bring you right here into the room where you can get all this information and you can actually interact and engage with the incredible people that we have in here. We have over 24 people in the room right now that you can network with. These are people who have organizations. These are real thought leaders who are in the room. I see Deshaun Farad is here in the house. I see my good brother Steve is in the room. I want to say hello to Shaka is here. We got Ebony. They're all here, and they're here to network because we want to take this like I said, there's a town hall meeting, but it's also a working meeting, right? Right? We want to get to work while we're here, right? So that you can network and also exchange ideas. And I want everyone, within an ear view of this conversation to figure out and think and use our power of imagination. We got the best imaginations in the world, right? We make everything hot. So figure out a way how you can connect not only to this good brother here, Khabyr, but also to this upcoming event, how you can engage and participate even beyond the event, right? And how we can make even next year, thinking about next year, how we can even make it greater and how we can make it better. All right, so we have some hands up. I'm going to turn it right back over.
Tylon, Brother Tylon, if I may, I want to say one thing before you continue to show. Like every day I like to get locked in to a spirit or to a brother or sister or ancestor that did something or something happened to them. And on this day in 1906, February 11th, 1906, B-U-N-K, Richardson, a black man is lynched by a white mob in Gadsden, Alabama, terrorizing the black community and forcing his relatives to abandon their businesses and leave town. So let us give an acknowledgement and give thoughts to Bunk Richardson and his family that experienced that horrific thing in 1906 on this day, February 11th. I want to thank you for letting me add that to the program, brother. Well, and my name is Khabyr. It's Khabyr with a K.
Khabyr. Brother Khabyr, will you make that if you're available? I would love to make that a regular part of our meetings, is so that we can always hold these atrocities. So if and when you're available to come in and make that an active segment. You see what I'm saying? We have to build, right? Yes, sir. Well, and make that happen so that we can, because you are absolutely right. A lot of times we feel like we included into something, this burning house, right? Oh, we are part, and what we don't do is we don't remind people of these horrors and these atrocities that we have been through in the past and continue even until today. So thank you so much for that. But I'm going to turn it right back over to my good brother Ron, big brother Ron.
Let's go straight to Deshaun. Sean, you come on and what you had to say, my good brother.
Yes, Hotep, Black Power, Brother Khabyr. Always wonderful seeing you, Brother Khabyr. Last week, and of course, a little earlier in the show, Brother Tylon had brought up delineation, and we've spoken about delineation many times in the show. What I would like to know, what are your thoughts concerning many of our people who subscribe to the FBA and ADOS concepts, who are outright dismissive of Pan-Africanism and Marcus Garvey, to the point that they are just outright disrespectful of Marcus Garvey? Let me give you an example, and I'm not at all trying to start a podcast war, if you would. Tariq Nasheed has criticized Marcus Garvey, and then I remember one time Yvette Carnell, and I remember she said this on Instagram. In fact, I think she responded to me. Right, she actually responded to me. It was a question that I asked. I felt that she said something that was entirely uncalled for about Mr. Garvey, and she called him a straight up fraud. How do you feel about these things?
Well, I say that they don't bother me at all. You're going to have the more successful you are, the stronger your program is. You're going to have those individuals. Mr. Garvey had them. Mr. Garvey not only had them, Mr. Garvey had one of the most intelligent Africans or intelligent black men that hated his guts. The Garvey Must Go campaign. It was spearheaded by W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yep.
Now, if Mr. Garvey can withstand Mr. Du Bois and the NAACP and the Crisis Magazine, all the money they had backing them, European or white dollars, if he can withstand that and still develop the Black Star Line and still develop millinery stores and still develop programs to feed people, programs to help people become educated. If he still can develop a tailoring shop, if he still could develop the Negro world, if he still could develop a constitution and international conventions during this period, sir, those individuals that attack Mr. Garvey for whatever reason, let them do it. They are not in the way at all. We have a nation to build. We have connections to make to our sisters and brothers in Liberia and Africa. So those thwart little things that happen, they're like this. They're like this. They really are, brother. The picture's too big. It's too strong for me. For me personally, I don't subscribe to any of that jargon at all.
Well, briefly, Brother Khabyr, I want to ask you a question. I promise this is not going to be long. Okay, you mentioned Dr. Du Bois. Now, keep in mind, Dr. Du Bois, Dr. Clark, John Henry Clark referred to Du Bois as the best intellectual that Black America ever produced. Do you think that some of us are a little bit too harsh regarding the Du Bois Garvey controversy? Because some people have said that was nothing more than contemporaries having major disagreements. And we have to keep in mind, Du Bois was kicked out of the NAACP because his radicalism. Do you think that oftentimes we're not examining the so-called Du Bois-Garvey feud closely enough?
No, I don't. Mr. Du Bois deliberately, when everything was set, when you go to the philosophies and opinions of Marcus Garvey, when you go to the records, when you go to Robert Hill's work, the papers, the Garvey papers, we had a colonization set in Liberia. Everything was set. We had taken machinery. The UNIA had their experts to go navigate the land. The colonization project was in full effect. It wasn't until the white man sent W.E.B. Du Bois to Liberia at the inauguration of C.B. King, when everything got twisted around. And when Mr. W.E.B. Du Bois came back or got back to America, what did he have in his hand? He had the deed that Firestone has today, the millions of acres of rubber trees. He had the deed where he would help Firestone sign that deal. So it's all in black and white. And yes, W.E.B. Du Bois was a brilliant man, but he was human. I believe there was jealousy and envy. When the NAACP started their thing, they were moving if you were into integration. But here you have this little pudgy African man from Jamaica come to America and get people, thousands and thousands of people to listen to him. I think Mr. Du Bois was very jealous of this brother. And I'm not even going to go into the name calling and some of the things that he called Mr. Garvey, because it's not that deep, but it was deliberate. And I will never forget that. And I will teach students, children alike, what happened in spite of his brilliance. This is something we have to learn. This is something that needs to be talked about. This is something we know that Mr. Du Bois ended up dying in Ghana. He got it. He got the African connection very well when he made his transition. So to answer your question, no, I don't think we're being too light on Mr. Du Bois. He did what he did, and it's no secret. And I will never forgive him for that reason. But we will learn and we will move on.
Brother Khabyr, I'd love to add to that if I can, Brother Tylon.
Absolutely.
Malcolm often said, who taught us how to hate ourselves? And if we always keep that in mind as a teachable moment, when we have these, what we call internalized disconnects within our community, we have to take the principal approach that Brother Ron said, that it is up to us to come back to re-educate ourselves, that it is our unity through the love that we must have with each other, that it means that we don't always have to agree. No, we don't. But we do have to make the decision on how we use love as the tool that enables us to move forward with resistance, resilience, and total sense of, I may not agree with you, but because you are a brother or sister trying to do something to help my community, I'm going to do my best to stand up at least for you, and I'm going to do everything I can to work through the dynamics of perhaps the way in which we walk together. We have to have unity in our diversity. We are not going to always walk step directly, but as long as we get to the same place, that has to always be our goal. We have to move past the self-hatred, the dynamics of this internalized pain, the dynamics of jealousy and envy and ego, and we have to move into the direction of the spiritual edification of our people. And that takes a big person. It's not easy. And I think Brother Garvey was a classic example of somebody who still, despite all of the dissension that he had, he continued to build. And I thank him. I thank him very much as that example.
And I thank you for that example of statesmanship, of wisdom, of knowledge, and I love you for that. I really do, because I'm one of the people who really, I love the Tariq Nasheed's, the people. I love. See, I think we think that, as thought leaders, everybody got to think alike. I like different points of view and different perspectives, because they don't understand that actually makes us better. There's a movement almost like to silence people who have different points of views and different perspectives, as opposed to examining those perspectives and finding out, like what you said, when those ideas do converge and they work. It's you know what I'm trying to say? Because we have a lot of issues and a lot of problems that are what do you call it? There's a common denominator to them, and we don't see that because we get caught up in other things that are not as relevant or as urgent as really dealing with the devil in our midst. So thank you for that. That was so spoken with so much clarity and I think with so much precision. And this is why we need our sisters, brothers.
Well, I just want to be able to get brother Khabyr, and he had his hand up for a while.
Well, he could just jump in. Come on, it's your floor.
But I just want to be. I want to be reminded. People come new to the show. They're probably trying to show some type of. I just want to let the brother know he can go ahead and speak. Just jump in. I don't want him to.
And how do you pronounce his name? Because I don't want to get it wrong. It's MWA. Because he has his hand up.
Yeah, Moriama.
All right.
Yeah, greetings, one and all. Queen Mother Ayo.
Greetings,
brother Khabyr. My fellow historian, big brother, brother Tylon, and all on the program. I see Sister Ra Ebony and so many other great people I've known over the years. I just wanted to first and foremost commend both of them, who I know personally, for being on the program and spreading the Black love and Black wisdom to one and all. And I thank Brother Khabyr for how he handled the question. I would have been a lot less Black loving about that answer. But we deal with that later. But I just wanted to thank Brother Khabyr, because he and I both understand very well how important Philadelphia is to the whole history and legacy of the Garvey movement. And every time I pass the hall and in certain places when Mr. Garvey spoke, in fact, I put in the chat about an event tomorrow that's going to be in Baltimore, where it's a church where Mr. Garvey spoke, and we're going to put a plaque up unveiling the speech that he gave there, the lecture back in 1922. But when you pass the hall, sometimes I just wonder, when I walk upon the stones, if those stones could cry out to the community and talk about the great men who walked before us, the great women who came before us, who stood in those positions there and who delivered a message of universal African confraternity to the world the way they did and to keep the the spirit of universal African nationalism alive so long and so strong that it would possibly change us if we knew better, and we would probably do better if we knew who those personalities you speak of in the book. Malcolm X family living in Philadelphia, and inspired by Mr. Garvey, and like you mentioned, Nnamdi Azikiwe was teaching up there for a while. You had who was a diehard Garveyite, and Nkrumah, and all these other people you mentioned, and tons more. I'm sure you're gonna deliver at Cheney. I'm gonna try to come up there from Washington D.C. to see that lecture. So I just wanted to commend you on that, and thank you for sharing all the good information. And I hope you continue, brother. We need to do some collaborative work if necessary, if possible. Always love your wisdom. So we can work together. I'd be honored. And I just want thank you all for that, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, we have the flyer right now, folks, on the screen. If you want, you can screenshot it. It's also in the download. And if our good sister can go ahead and share it up on Facebook, and then we'll also share this on our platform. But it is tomorrow, folks. So, I think it's well worth your time if you are in the area. It's at Trinity Baptist Church. That's 1601 Druid Hill Avenue, and that's in Baltimore, Maryland. There is going to be the second annual Baltimore Marcus Garvey Symposium. It's commemorating the anniversary of Marcus Garvey's 1922 public lecture series in Baltimore, and in recognition of the centennial year of Black History Month since February of 1926. Make sure you're there. The topic is Baltimore, fertile ground for interfaith reparations and healing. All right, folks. Let's continue the conversation with those who have their hands up.
Tylon, I just want to point out something. That, again, I as a clinician, I listen intensely. As a master case conceptualist, I listen and try to find out the best summary evaluation I give to when I hear people talk. I think it's very important, especially when Deshaun asked that question, and Baba Khabyr answered, and how this worked out. And I want us to remember, and I think Mama said it very clear, is that remember our love. And a lot of things that happens, a lot of things that occur, we will put 100% highlight on them as we own them. Like negativity, we own them. Things that's bad in the kid, we own them. They are ours. It's only us. And I think that Khabyr said it clear. Du Bois was a human being. Everybody's a human being. Everybody has an ability at some point to go after their interests, good or bad. Don't get it twisted. Yes, we all, if you know history, Du Bois to this day still, and his followers will say he was the most intellectual man, or even more than, that's the funny part, even more than white men that he went to school with, right? he was the intellectual of the time. But the problem is, if you understand intellectuals, they sometimes don't come to the grassroots, right? They're up in the world of philosophy. They're up in the world of what in an ideal situation. That's when people, some friend is here. That's when they get caught up in this idea of how a matrix would work. The matrix worked like this because it's going to be like that. Because in my mind, this is how I processed it when I read all the books. But if you haven't seen the people in the street, you haven't met the people on the ground, you haven't ate on the floor with the people who live and happy every day because they have a means to even eat. And so it's those kind of things that we sometimes get caught into the drama of American drama. And we forget that we begin to put ourselves on the stage to being the main villains in every characterization of everything. And remember that we didn't create that. Right. We were just, listen, we wasn't even supporter actors in any of this. We were stage hands in the back.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Brother Khabyr. How do you respond to the rumor that Garvey, I'm sure you've heard this before, Mr. Garvey was accused of trying to overthrow the president of Liberia. Have you ever heard that? Is there any truth to that rumor?
No, there's no truth to it. Mr. Garvey had the resources the numbers, the money, and the support to go to Liberia to offer assistance. That was it. And to help build a nation where brothers like yourself and brothers like me and our children could go and be protected. That was it. Just like the petitions that they submitted to the United Nations or the League of Nations to govern certain areas of Africa that was colonized by Germany. Mr. Garvey had the numbers, he had the monies, and he had the know-how to do such a humongous task. That is why it's so important to read this work, to follow the footsteps and to follow all of the fingerprints of Mr. Garvey, because that is what we need, or how we need to think today. It's very important that our children have a better concept of geography and where African people are. And that was one of the reasons why he wanted to go to Liberia, and also Belize, to have sovereign nations to protect and love, so people like you and I could live under a warmer sun, brother. That was it. You know, of course, there are going to be rumors when a whole cadre of individuals and organizations is going to come and disrupt your way of life, so to speak. So that was just rumors put out. But no, it was all love in his heart. It was all love. And they also said, Veggie backing on what they said about Du Bois, Carlos Cooks, a black nationalist in Harlem, said Mr. Du Bois had more degrees than a thermometer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
More degrees than the thermometer. Mm-hmm. They said he was a European experiment. They said he was a European experiment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to keep in mind we are the teachers of the world. I think once again, and you pointed this out, that a lot of people think our history started with the slave ships and stuff. No, I mean we were sailing the seas thousands of years, before they even was crawling out of the caves. But nonetheless, I think that's also part of this deliberate attack on our consciousness, on our psyche. Everything is designed to make us think and feel that we are minorities instead of the global majority. Make us think that we're somehow inferior. We talk white supremacy, like they are supreme and dominant and all that. But the reality is that we are the best. We're the best. We're the wisest. We've been around the longest. We're the strongest. You can look at any sports. We're the most talented, the most gifted, the most beautiful people. Look how we look. Look at our skin. Io shocked me so much. She's some 70. She makes 70 look like the new 60. So black don't crack. We hear. I mean, these they're cliche, but it's true, right? We look good. We're amazing people, and we know how to really. And I think once we connect to that part of us, and we do it more often, we'll start to see a lot more clearly some of the contamination, I would call it, of Euro mindset that is permeating.
I think Tylon, another aspect of that is not just seeing the contamination, understanding the contamination.
Yes,
it's like one of the things you and I just listen to what
I like that. I like
where they came from.
That's right.
Listen, why we know this when we see human beings interact in today's society.
That's
who
right.
are the people who rob and steal? People who don't have. Who are the people who bully and beat other people? People who are not comfortable with who they are. And when you begin to look at historically how that operates, as a people, we have never been known to do many of those aggressive type things. Even though people say, "Oh, your people are aggressive," but you don't have any evidential evidence historically, transgenerationally, that we were those kind of aggressive people just by your say so. When the whole time you were the one perpetrating and being the aggressors. You're the ones who was attacking people. You are the ones who and we sometime again back into this mindset of what you hear so much, you start to believe because you're not hearing anything else. And not until you get exposed to another aspect of something saying, hey, you have never been a violent people. Matter of fact, you have allowed people to come in your place and take over your stuff. You went on a pilgrimage across your continent, giving away what people thought was precious metals was just something that you had in abundance. You destroyed their economic system because you was giving away these gifts that you thought that was just an abundancy. And when they found out that you had those, they came, and not in the value that you had them for, they seen them as a value, and then they manipulated the situation to do your content. And this is the problem I want us to remember. Please, folks, we have this American, this Western mindset that the black is the evil, that secrets and hiding. We are the complete opposite. We are like the deer in the headlights, because that's how innocent we are most of the time. And when we do see that kind of village and violent, because listen, I say this all the time, if we was really that kind of people that you make us out to be, none of y'all would even exist anymore.
That's right.
See, and that's a very, listen, you can say, well, how can a group of people go to the southern part of Africa and take over in the numbers they did, other than that the people who were there were welcoming people who welcomed you and let you come in and then let you basically take over, because it wasn't in their nature to do certain things.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
That's like crazy.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to have truth tellers, like our good brother, the writer and the scholar who's here. It's important to have the filmmakers today. That is so powerful. The images now with the words, with the music coming together so that we can tell these important stories, because they're not just storytellers in these books. They are truth tellers. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who are filmmakers and they don't touch these subjects. These people who are writers and they don't write about this. Like they write about fluff and destructive kind of things. So it's very important that we support these kind of courageous artists. And yes, they are courageous in this environment that celebrate mediocrity and lies. That's right. They support lies and all that. For people to say, I'm going to use my abilities and my art to tell the truth about what's going on, because it's healing and it has a long-term value for the upliftment of my people. And so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to open up the mics for the conversation, folks. So get your questions ready. We have two giants in the room. And please, once again, let's be concise. The more concise we are, the more people will have opportunities to speak. Offer your comments. That's right. It's not just Q&A questions. If you have questions, comments, and concerns, we want to hear about it.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
You better drop this shit now. Go ahead on, man. Get out the way, man. Watch it, man.
Hey, y'all need to stop, man. Y'all need to stop. I got it. You can't put your hands on him, bro.
That's it, right? Put your phone. Let me go, man. Let me go, man.
Something wrong, man.
Let me go, man. Let me go, man. Let me go, man. Nothing happened, right? Let me go, man.